If someone appears in your dream, this is what it means. When someone appears in your dreams, this is the spiritual implication. By God's grace, in today's video, I wish to share with you the symbolic meaning of a someone appearing in your dream, or you seeing someone in your dream, whether the person is a friend, an enemy, depending on the context, you see the person, what you see the person doing, and how the person is actually performing in that particular dream. I wish to tell you this: dream is very, very important. Dream is the product of your reality, your real life playing in your subconscious. Take it or leave it, you did not fall into this world by accident. You came from a lineage. You came from ancestry. And that is why our first ancestors remain Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why today we still mention God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Whether some of your people have passed on or they are still alive, you notice that sometimes you equally see them in your dream, and that is to tell you that they are still very much around even when they are far away from you. And most of the dreams you see is the product of your reality, what is actually happening, that they are being showed either by your guardian angel or by your ancestors or by Almighty God himself or the universe. And once you become spiritually conscious, one way or the other, these spiritual forces that follows you about, that work with you, becomes alive, that most of the times they always direct your dreams to what is reality about your life. It doesn't matter how somebody is smiling with you, how somebody is dancing around with you, how somebody is claiming to love you, but if constantly you are seeing that person in a negative direction, in a negative sense, in a negative actions in the dream, take it or leave it, the person is an enemy. So if you only follow me to the end of today's video, I'll be sharing with you what it means for someone to appear in your dream, depending on the person, the context, and the encounter you are having with that person in that dream. But before then, please give this video a like so that YouTube algorithm will shift it to other people that need it. As to do so, may God bless you. Welcome back to Jenny Action TV. In this particular channel, I discuss three important variables which actually help safety and spirituality. In this channel, we pray strategic prayers, we read the word of God in and out, we believe in balance. That is actually why we do spiritual work. So if this is the very first time you're finding yourself in this beautiful family, you are highly welcome. Please kindly hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always stopping by. So without wasting time, let's dive in. Before I go ahead into this video, I wish to remind you about this. Believe me, Bible said a fool's walk weary him because he don't know how to enter into the city. And the same Bible said in book of Psalm 11 verse 3 that if the foundation be destroyed, what will the righteous do? Do you know that a lot of people, the way they entered into the new year, sometimes even the new month, is actually why they are not progressing the way they're supposed to progressing, because of the things they're supposed to clear, and then ways they're supposed to make themselves, because actually we are gods. God has given us every capacity, everything we needed to succeed. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's up to you. It is a free word anyway. Everybody is a believer. It depends on what you believe. So one thing I want to tell you is that there is a need for you to enter 2025 the right way. Reason is this: 2025 is not just an ordinary year. 5 itself is a number of grace. It's a number of favor. 5 represents Christ himself. 2025 is our season of supernatural turnaround. A year of uncommon favor and grace. And for that to happen, it is going to be a prepared year for a prepared people. And based on that, I have sat down under God and by the grace that is operating in me, which God has given me, and prepare a 1 week power-packed direction, spiritual direction and prayers that you should engage in order to ensure that you enter 2025 the right way. But it is not something I will be coming here to share with you. The truth is that no spiritual person that wore the onions can actually tell you everything under this particular platform of social media that people abuse by coming to kind of make some unwholesome comments instead of them opening their own channel to teach their own inspiration. So based on inspiration God has given to me, I have prepared a power-packed direction that when you follow it symbolically 1 week, and then in addition for me also praying for you in my own altar God has given me, and then you will see all your intentions come to pass. So you have to check the pin comment, the community, or chat me up with this number in order to be part of it. Terms and conditions apply. Believe me, nothing is ever free in this universe. I don't hide what I do. I tell you pop and plain. Free things bite the stomach. And believe me, at a time, David said, far it be from me that I'll give God something that cost me nothing. Most of the times, why some people have not gone far is that you think everything is free. Nothing is free in this universe. So for me to be able to start doing this ministry, I know what I lost. I have to put my career behind me. I have to put a lot of things. Even this year, the books I wrote that I supposed to go and distribute to the school this September, I couldn't because I was overwhelmed with responsibility. I have to give up something to get another. So, for those that are believers of spirituality, kindly shut me up and then be part and parcel of that epoch-making program. And God will do what will shock you. You will witness divine turnaround in Jesus' name. Amen. So let's go deep into the video of today. Now, if somebody appears in your dream, number one, it simply means you have unfinished business with that person. And the person is still seeking for a closure. There is certain unresolved issues that you have with that person that needed to be resolved. Physically, it may be that that issue between you and the person has been resolved, but spiritually or in the person's closet is still either lamenting, is still either rejoicing, depending on what it is. What it simply means that when you have such dream, my dear, dream does not lie. You have to sit down and think about your relationship with that person, especially depending on the scenario and how you see that person in the dream, and then physically think about your relationship with that person. Is there any unresolved issue? Why is this person coming to me? And then how am I going to handle it? Do I need to call him, or do I just need to pray about it? And maybe in the past you hurt that person, and then Bible at a time said in Ephesians 4 verse 32, be kind to one another, be tender-hearted and forgiving. Probably that person is still hurting and needed your forgiveness. You might actually, or needed your forgiveness, or needed you to forgive. You might actually need to call that person in order to iron something out. So you have to know the context on which you see that person. That will determine what will be your next move. So that is number one. Number two, it might actually be influence or guidance. When somebody appears in your dream, it may represent a guiding influence in your life. It may represent a source of wisdom. Let's take, for instance, you are a church member and suddenly your pastor appears in your dream. And in that particular a kind of dream of yours, your pastor is telling you something. I remember when I started spirituality newly, I noticed that God, because God is my mentor, I'm not like the type that suddenly you see somebody doing something, you want to do it. I was called by God. I've made that video about my calling. And then if you want, you can ask me about it. I'll look for it and give you and send it to you in the comment section. So I noticed that God himself is my utmost mentor, so much so that whenever I'm praying, especially between 3 to 5, I'm hearing voices audibly. And like I said, how the ministry I was before God now called me out, every time we come for program, what the woman of God will always be saying, that God told her to pray for me, to open my ear, that he want me to be hearing him audibly. By then, I don't really know who I am. And secondly, the woman will always say, oh, I see angels always dancing around you whenever we are singing praises, not knowing that I have a special symbolic assignment. One of the things that happened is that one day I saw a notable man of God who also work with nature, who is also working with nature, who have this same calling of me. He was telling me some things, I was writing it down. So what was that telling me? That God himself is a kind of showing me that person as a guidance, that I should look into the life and direction that person is going, and that is the direction of my calling too. So most of the times when you see somebody, and especially somebody you are not of the equal status with, but and you cannot easily relate as friends, and it may not even be family member, but a great essence is somebody with higher status, lo and behold, definitely it may be that God is directing your life to make that person a source of your inspiration. Watch what the person is doing and replicate it, because one way or the other, we don't operate in vacuum. We are in this world, we have models. The only thing is that mind who you are modeling, though the best model we're supposed to have is actually Christ. So you consider seeking guidance from such person. In other words, if it is, let me say, a spiritual person, may simply be telling you that whenever you have some issues, when you meet this person, that God would have packaged that person with wisdom to help you to solve that issue. At a time, I think it's Proverbs 11 verse 14 says that where there is no counsel and that people fall. So in other words, God is providing you a counselor, a director. Like some of you that have been in this channel, one of the things that brought you to me, you always tell me you had this dream about me. So that's by the way. Number 3 is spiritual emotional connection. Some people that appears in your dream may simply means that you are emotionally linked together spiritually, that there is something connecting you, there is an attribute of you that you are sharing together with that person. You have to reflect on the nature of the person, what you have in common with that person, what is God trying to communicate to you about that particular person. For example, if you're a spiritual person like me, you may tend to dream about another spiritual person, and you may not be dreaming any other thing. It may not be just for any other thing, but because two of you have a kind of emotional connection, because you are serving either the same master or you are working towards the same purpose, and God is like telling you that the way this person's life is playing out, that is how your way or your life will play out. Let's say you are a pastor, you just started a church, but you notice that the church is not growing as it's supposed to grow, but you will always see another pastor that have church like you. Maybe two of you are almost the same colleague and age mate, and then the person's church is powering. God might be telling you that you should not bother, that a time will come you will also grow like that person. You don't need to go and trouble yourself or look for what to do in order to multiply overnight. So that is to tell you that depending on the scenario, because if you just see that person discharging an activity is not hurting you in any way, it simply means that there is emotional connection and nothing more, and that emotional connection may lead you to be close to that person, because at a time one thing or the other can bring you and that person together, and you start telling them, oh, I saw you in the dream, you are doing this and that, and you discuss, and from there you might pick one lesson from that person, and the other that person will also pick lessons from you. Okay, then another one is when you see somebody in your dream, and if that person is doing you something bad, like pursuing you, turn into a cat, suddenly turn into a snake, suddenly turn into dog, suddenly turn into cow, any of these animals, because they represent man on earth to a great extent, know that that person is a witchcraft, that person is an evil person. No matter how good, how best you and the person's relationship is, watch it very well, be careful, because that person is into something else, and God is showing you the real character or the real personality of this person. You have to be very, very careful in order not to enter into any demonic pit. So when you see such, the necessity calls that you have to start cutting your relationship with that person, because Bible says resist the devil and the devil will flee from you. Imagine somebody is proposing marriage to you, and suddenly all things being equal, every night you are seeing that person chasing you, you are seeing that person trying to kill you with cutlass. You don't need any prophet to tell you that this is the future of your relationship, that one day this man will end up killing you. Don't marry this man. No, this woman will end up killing you. Though we know that there is manipulated dream, because sometimes when a kind of certain good thing want to come and you see somebody chasing you, trying to cause problem, most of the time the face may not be the actual face of that person, may be using another person's face. That is why you need to be a kind of highly spiritually alert, and then have discernment of spirit, and know some spiritual tips I've been sharing to be able to dictate the real face of that wicked person that is actually coming after you, which is very simple. Just get 7 cloves of garlic, add it inside a cup of salt water, like 3 spoons of salt water that is inside a glass bowl or glass cup. Use it to make a prayer and so God, the creator of the universe. Make sure that that glass is transparent enough. That as this glass is transparent, and that I am seeing every content in it, like this garlic, that today I need to know this, especially if you're having it constantly, that this constant dream I having with about so person, I want to know if this person is the one appearing, or somebody is wearing the face like mask, reality mask, to come and appear in my dream. That so long as this glass cannot hide what is inside, that nothing will hide that person, except the person have never eaten salt, except the person have never drank water. You put it under your bed, because most of the time it's the witches that do this kind of thing. You will notice that the presence of that garlic in that thing cannot allow that negative face to that wish to wear another face to come. God will show you clearly. You will see it clearly who the person is. So most of the times when it is appearing and you are doubtful, maybe because of how nice the person is physically, that it can be, you have to diagnose, you have to be sure. And by God's grace, put that water for 3 good days before you throw it away. Be writing your dream. The real person. If that same person still appear, my dear, there is fire on the mountain, run for your life. But if another face start appearing, doing the same thing that person was doing for my, know that this is the real person attacking you. Now, let's see why someone will constantly appear in your dreams. Number 1 is, it might be an agent of Satan, a witchcraft, witches and wizards that actually want to send demonic and witchcraft attack and manipulation to your life. And then God is showing you that physically this person is responsible for your problem. This person is the one causing, because one thing people don't really know is that your battle, your destiny is in your hands. Once your parents has given birth to you, they have fulfilled their ministry. The next, every other thing that will happen to you depends on you. Likewise, don't think that God is fighting your battle with your corporation. God cannot do anything on this earth except he cooperate with you. Reason is this: he has given us this earth to dominate and subdue. Just as he said in Genesis chapter 1, come, let us create man in our own image, after our likeness, that they will have dominion over the fishes in the sea, the birds of the air, and so on and so forth. Now, God said, let's create man in our own image. In other words, the image of God is that image of dominion, power, splendor, glory, king. And God has made you a king over this nation, made you a God, for you to challenge anything challenging you and stop every madness working against you. And instead of taking that challenge and taking up your responsibility, you are still calling God to come and do it for you. You are wasting your time. That is why sometimes, look at Israel today, they are fighting their battles, worshiping the God of Israel. Israel is fighting their battles. You say you not fight your spiritual battle. The battle will eat up somebody's head and nothing will happen. That's why in some family you see people dying anyhow, see a lot of evil doing. One person may be the one eliminating everybody, because they're last waiting for God to come and be fighting for them when they have not done anything. They will be wasting their time. So my dear, one of the reasons somebody is appearing in your dream is God sensitizing you that this person is evil. He's up to no good, especially if he's appearing in a negative direction, that you have to stand up and fight, rebuke that person, do back to sender spell. Like the back to sender spell I shared recently, one a kind of occultic person, because that's what I'll call, come to give me advice. This is occultic. Is it not somebody that knows occult that will be able to know how occultic manipulations is? So my dear believers of nature, when you are having such dream, rise up and fight. Pray. Your word is energy, that you are returning every evil arrow back to the sender. Unless that person is appearing in the positive direction, it may be that God wants that person to be your spiritual leader, if it is a spiritual person, or that God wants you to be want that person to be your mentor, to be your leader, especially if he's giving you direction on what to do in that dream. Because believe me, we are not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, spiritual wickednesses in the high places and lower places, rulers of darkness of this world, according to Ephesians 6 verse 2. So because God knows that battle is ahead and God is a spirit, he sees beyond the physical. He will always show you in order for you to know how to tackle your spiritual problems. Number 2 might be unforgiveness and bitterness. When you have unforgiveness and bitterness towards somebody, you may be seeing that person in your dream, and it may be a note of warning that you need to make peace, you need to forgive that person. You may have used mouth to say you are forgiving, but inside your heart it is not true. And again, might be that you have envy towards that person, and then the person now start appearing in your dream. You are being sure that your attitude towards this person is not right. You have to change, because most of the times it's not only a warning to another person, a warning to you. It's not only a warning concerning another person. It might actually be a warning to you that there are some things you have with that person, there are some beefs you have with that person that you need to settle, there are some scores you need to settle with that person, and that is why God is showing you that person in the dream, in order for you to make that directed move instead of relaxing and making belated actions. Now, the next one may be causes or negative energies. The person that might be appearing in your dream may be the source of your problem, may be the source of the causes that you are passing through, may be the source of negativity that you are passing through, may be that the person has been doing incantation, shams, and invocation in the back against you, making sure you don't progress, or the person is acting as a monitoring demon, and God is showing you, depending on what the person is doing in that dream, if that person is always doing something bad, when you see that person in the dream, and in that area you need serious spiritual cleansing, you need prayers, you need to rebuke the devil and he will flee from you. You have to forgive and release that person if you have been caging that person in your heart, bearing some grudges about that person, because at the time Bible says, if thou bring your gift to the altar and there you remember that somebody has something against you, you need to go back and make peace with that person before coming to offer your altar. God might be showing that this is why your prayers have not been answered, this is why your spiritual work has not been working, that you are having something against somebody, you are bearing some grudges against this person. You have to forgive immediately, release the person from your heart. If you need be, you have to call that person and affirm your forgiveness and make peace, so that your prayers will not be hindered. Number 3 is do what I call dream incubation. Practice dream incubation. In other words, take control of your dream to prevent negative energy and dream you don't like. Do you know that dream come as a multitude of business? I've actually shared a related video how you can attract so much money while you sleep, that whatever you feed your mind with when you are about to go to sleep, you incubate your subconscious, you will now see it in your dream, it becomes your reality. That if at the time you want to sleep, you are constantly deep into thought of money, how you are going to pack money, how you get sudden call, and that call is call of favor of money. There is no how you go to dream and you will not sleep. So deliberately give your heart what you want it to dream about by thinking about certain things that are, by engaging yourself in certain actions that are positive. You may decide to watch certain movie. For example, you can be watching my videos before you sleep. I remember when this channel was very new, a Muslim lady. That's why I pity some Christians coming here to quote Bible that they don't even know. Because at a time, Bible records that some people that think that they have reached heaven will be there. Harlots will first of all enter heaven. Now, some Christians are busy making judgmental remark. This is witchcraft. This is occultic. This is not it. Somebody that is not of Christian food is busy receiving his or her blessing. I remember the woman saying that it's my video that she normally sleep with, that whenever she's watching my video and slide into sleep, that she'll start seeing angels in her dream. So you keep those positive information around you that you feed your subconscious with before you sleep. By God's grace, you will stop dreaming about that person. It will be that particular thing that you start dreaming. Maybe you're a married person, start dreaming about good things about your husband or your children. You will end up seeing them in the dream instead of seeing unwanted visitor or wanted person in your dream that will make you to begin to think, is this person bad or good person? You'll be able to block that energy of dreaming that person. And that is when you have done your cleansing thoroughly to make sure that no negative influence from that person is still touching you. Then to stop that dream, you simply give your heart what to dream about. And by God's grace, for everything that is in your subconscious will definitely come to your reality. So if you are thinking about money, when you go to sleep in the morning, you will see that one thing will lead to the other. You start manifesting that money. So if you have not subscribed to be part of this family, what are you waiting for? Kindly smash that red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. Comment on this video, share it widely to everyone. Might be helping a lot of people. As so do so, may God bless you. So with this I say, enjoy your day. Bye bye.